Is there a future for coal? Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab yourself a stein of coffee. I want to talk about, well, this Zero Hedge article about countries which are most reliant on coal and ask the question, is there a future for coal? Now let's jump over here to the Observatory of Economic Complexity. We can see coal briquettes. Not a very complex product, 909 out of the 961 in their database, but we are the largest exporter, over 40.2%. That's going to Japan, India, China, Taiwan, South Korea. We are really the coal mine for Asia. We help power a lot of countries and help improve a lot of lives. Now, this industry, at the time of this data, is worth over $50 billion, comparable to tourism. It's a big sector. It employs a lot of people. But, it seems to be politically unpopular at the moment. Sure, there'll be certain conservative politicians that actually are worried about people having jobs and, providing for themselves, but don't worry about that. The inner city, hippy-dippy greenies want to shut everything down. Maybe they want us all to live like Tarzan, quite primitive. But here's a quote I want to draw your attention. This is from Dr. Alan Finkel, our chief scientist. If the world were to reduce its carbon emissions by 1.3%, what impact would that make on climate change of the world? My response was that the impact would be virtually nothing. And he goes on to explain that we should still make a change to our carbon emissions to set an example. Now, perhaps if you're quite wealthy, you can afford to live well, no, you know what? I'm going to bring up a chart to emphasize this. I suspect your household income status would impact your desire to make interventions into our economy for purely virtue signaling means. And that's what all of our interventions to reduce our carbon emissions are. It's simply global virtue signaling. It's not going to make any difference. We should tie our carbon emissions to our biggest trading partners. So if all these countries that we're exporting coal to, if they're not reducing their emissions, well then maybe we shouldn't. There you go. Because my concern is more so with regards to employment, job opportunities, declining economic complexity, and a decline in actually our Human Development Index rating here in Australia. We're going backwards. We can see here our education has been trending down ever since the building education revolution. And our GDP growth per capita as well. It has also been going down, everyone. GDP has been going below trend since the GFC. It's not skyrocketing. It's why, well, the divide in people here in Australia, those that are doing well and those that are not, it's just been exacerbated by all of the coronavirus lockdowns and restrictions. And I would argue that plays a role in calls to, well, decoalify Australia or reach net neutral by 2050. So, coal shortages are currently causing electricity supply problems in two major coal-using economies, India and China. As Statasia's Katharina Buchholz notes, shortages are happening because economic activity is picking up, as coronavirus numbers have remained stable in most countries, while at the same time coal production is sinking due to weather problems and environmental concerns driving investment decisions. According to Ember, India still produces 70% of its electricity from coal, the sixth highest share in the world. China, which has been touting its forays into renewable energy, is also still heavily banking on coal at almost 61% of electricity created by the fossil fuel. So just think about that. All the solar panels and renewable products that we're buying from China are manufactured using, 61% of the power in that country is from coal. So they're manufactured from natural resources and from fossil fuel. That's why people need to understand the concept of embodied energy. And it's, the sum of all of the energy requirements to produce any good or service, considering as if all of its energy was incorporated and embodied in the product itself. Now, as architects, we learn a lot about the embodied energy because it impacts different materials. You can have something that has all these fantastic green star ratings and ticks, But, if it has aluminium, even if it's recycled, it can have an insane amount of embodied energy. So if the embodied energy is so high that the energy benefit of installing a power-saving product or good or service, it may take longer than the lifespan of the actual product to pay it back. What really got me was learning about insulation. How it's all great, it saves you energy, but it can take up to 50 years for some of this insulation to become neutral for the energy savings that it has. So just to keep it in mind. And often the calculations are based on people having all like air conditioners and things running all the time or at certain times to throw the numbers. So if you're cheap like me, it's going to take even longer for the embodied energy to pay back because I don't have an air conditioner. Anyway, so back to this. Both countries are currently investing in several energy technologies, nuclear, coal, and renewable, as their economies are expanding rapidly. And here's the countries most reliant on coal. Botswana, 99.8%, pretty much, probably diesel. Then Kosovo, Mongolia, South Africa, Moldova, India, Serbia, Poland, Kazakhstan, Bosnia and Herzegovina, China, and Indonesia, right up there. According to data, Botswana was the country most reliant on coal in the world. The South African country uses coal for electricity generation almost exclusively, while small Balkan Republic Kosovo registered 95% use for its electricity production. Countries in Eastern and Southeastern Europe feature heavily among the top 10 countries dependent on coal, while Mongolia and South Africa are other notables of global coal dependency. So what about investing in coal? So, sure, we've got countries here. Coal is falling out of favor by many other countries. But even in Australia, let's have a look. Right now, as I'm recording this in the morning, let's jump here and look at our energy production. Okay, and we'll jump over to this one. Okay, this is at this very moment at 7 o'clock. I'm recording this in the morning. We'll zoom in here. We can see Victoria. Look at all the wonderful wind farms. None of them over 30%, unfortunately, this time of day. And we've got the coal plants still going strong. And if we scroll down here, we can see this really just has the east coast of Australia, guys. Victoria, Queensland, South Australia, and Tasmania as well. We can see here, this is all of the energy production. We've got black coal, natural gas, so we'll turn that off. We'll turn off rooftop solar. Waste coal mine gas, should we keep that on? We'll turn that off. Keep brown coal on, coal seam methane, off, grid, diesel, wind, natural gas, diesel, solar we'll turn off. See, solar's a big chunk, rooftop, kerosene, and then other solar. So we can still see here how many gigawatts, we'll put the total here, how many gigawatts are being produced by coal, even here on the east coast of Australia. Still a fairly big chunk of our power, guys. It's not something you can dismiss so easily. Okay, we're not, solar, rooftop solar, there it is. Okay, great. Great. It's providing a portion of the power at this time, so the plant can run a bit less than over 100%, maybe only 98% instead of 116%. But then have a look here. Okay, when we also need power at nighttime, guys. So just keep it in mind. So let's have a look at some companies to invest in. And these are some companies here that I just found. So pretty much these are trying to be full coal companies. Now, I'm not suggesting that you invest them, and I don't suggest you take any financial advice from a architect YouTuber. But I'm interested in it. I'm keeping an eye on it. I think with a lot of the negative publicity out there may be some opportunities. You never know. It doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Okay, so let's have a look. First up, just pick some here. Atrum, Coal Limited, ATU, 5 cents, near fair value, estimated at 4.6% over value, guys. So, they're pretty low stock. We can see their market cap is just 33.7 million. Their profits are, bad. EBITDA is down 4.98. So, we can see here the market sentiment is 53% are buying and 47% are selling. They're taking profits. They're moving into a different sector. Got a good tip, taking a chance, and other for those buying. We can see here their performance It was, I think, down to 2 cents, the year low, year high. So it's trending more towards the year low, 0.05. Was it up? Was it 34 cents? You kidding? Wow. Okay, something happened there. So most people are bullish on it. So I've never heard of this one. I just found it on the list. BRL we have here is Bathurst Resource Limited. They're about 90 cents, just 11% undervalued. They're being restructured. We can see here they are profitable. So here we have a profitable one. New Zealand is an Australian-based coal mining company. The company is engaged in exploration, development, and production of coal. The company has 4 operating mines supplying energy to the South Island industrial customers. Okay. Cascade. See, this is the thing. Here you've got companies that are producing power for customers. This is a real business, everyone. So there you go. You've got pretty flat. No, there you go. It's not pretty high. Buying as it's undervalued, selling, taking a profit. That's usually what everyone says. How are we sitting here? Yeah, 11% undervalued. Do they pay a dividend? Nope, they don't. No dividend. They're not paying a dividend. But there you go. Market performance. The only forecast is high, and it's at a yearly high at the moment. And most people are bullish. A few are bearish. So, and then finally, let's have a look at NHC, which is New Hope Corporation Limited. We can have here, $2.50. It's undervalued, and I mean they're paying a dividend, but they're CD at the moment. They're profitable. They've got a decent market cap. Is an energy-based diversified energy company. The company's principal activities include coal exploration and project development, coal extraction, processing, marketing, and logistics, agriculture, and oil gas exploration. Okay, so you can see here, the upper end of the SelfWealth population are jumping in. The stock is undervalued, are buying, and they're taking profits. And you can see there it's been climbing for the last 6 months, and it's at the upper end. So if we have a look, more bullish, and people are buying. So is there a future for coal, everyone? Let's have a bit of a talk. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I don't think it's going to disappear anytime soon. There's certainly a lot of demand, even here in Australia. And I think now with the issues of renewables falling over and not meeting demand, if there's any supply issues with traditional fossil fuels, I think it's going to be here for some time yet. Be interesting to watch some of these projects, seeing which ones could have potential. You'd really want to dig into them a bit better to make sure you're not buying a dud. But we'll have to see. There's market sentiment. There's the news all against it. There's people saying it's the end. But we'll have to watch. What do you reckon, everyone? Is it a sector you would invest in? Do you think there's a future in it, or do you think we're seeing the end of coal? As always, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you enjoy the content I find and put together here, there's a few ways you can help out. You can join us on Twitch or our YouTube live channel. You can support us financially via joining us on YouTube or Patreon, signing up for SelfWealth or Stake, using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband, buying our merch at HeiseSays, using Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or supporting us via PayPal. Take care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.